And that feeling of the handcuffs or shackles or however else that they paraded him through, that's real. And he knows the reality now. There's a big difference between when you're under investigation and when you're under indictment. The next step for Allen Weisselberg and possibly his children is prison. And right now, his life is on the line. He's 74 years old. He gets 3 years, 5 years, whatever it is. That's real time when you're in your golden years. He doesn't want to be away from his wife and his sons and his grandchildren. He wants to be with his family. He wants to go on down to Boynton Beach and enjoy his golden years of his life, not hanging out with a bunch of other inmates. What you have right now is Allen Weisselberg's head on the chopping block. And do you think that Donald Trump will protect him? Well, if Allen looks back at what happened to me, the answer is an emphatic no. First, they bring you in, they hug you, they tell you everything's going to be fine. And then when things really get hot, that's when Donald runs. And there is nothing that happened at the Trump Organization that did not go to Donald, whether it was the purchasing of paper clips or the payment of Allen Weisselberg's grandchildren's tuition. You know the expression, right? The cat has 9 lives. I think his 9 lives have expired. The documentary evidence that's in the hands of the prosecutors is so significant and it's so spot on that there's no way anybody's getting out of it, including the children who are next to come up onto these indictments. It's the tip of the iceberg, and there's so much more that's going to be coming. The target of this investigation is not Allen Weisselberg. Of course, it's the CEO of the Trump Organization, Donald Trump himself. Allen Weisselberg is not the keystone. I know that I had gone in and I had spoken on more than a dozen occasions to the district attorney, and there are a multitude of issues that are far more ranging than Allen Weisselberg not paying for a car or for an apartment. And he's not the only one at the Trump Organization as far as executives that have that same sort of wacky compensation package. The tip of the iceberg when it comes to the multitude of illegalities that the district attorney is currently looking at. Look, we're going to get Allen Weisselberg. It's not Allen Weisselberg that they're looking for. It's based upon 15 plus years worth of documents that are sitting now in the hands of a very capable RICO attorney, meaning Mark Pomerantz, along with Cyrus Vance Jr., our DA, as well as the Attorney General, Tish James. They have a plethora of documentary evidence that, in all fairness, it negates even the need for Allen Weisselberg as a witness. They have other people, and there are enough people that will be pressured that all you need is one. And they have people already that have given them, like myself. Weisselberg is going to provide testimony. He may not do it. He didn't do it yesterday, that we know, but it's a very big difference. And I've been there, and I can tell you that the feel of the handcuffs behind your back, it's not comfortable. It's very surreal when you're being perp walked to the judge's chambers. You know, there's a big difference between when you're under investigation and then you're formally indicted, as what I went through and now what Allen Weisselberg is going through. The stakes are now real. Before, they're not real. You sit there, you walk around, you go out with your family. Nobody should realistically believe for a second that the indictment that came down today is the end-all be-all. It is not. The district attorney, Cyrus Vance, along with Mark Pomerantz, have substantially more documents and more indictments will be coming as a result. Donald doesn't care about anyone or anything other than himself. What's going to happen? All of a sudden, you're going to have Donald Trump standing up and saying, "Wait, it's like the Shaggy song. It wasn't me." And then next thing you know, he's going to turn around. He's going to be pointing, "Allen, you should have known. You're my CFO." Knowing frickin' frack, as I described them in my book, Disloyal, they're going to turn around, they're going to point to Mazars, to the accountant at Mazars, and he's deflecting their illegalities onto somebody else. It wasn't me. It's him. And if it's not him, look at him. Because I've spent more than 10 occasions with district attorney, so I'm very familiar. And one of the things that we know that they got as a direct result of my House Oversight Committee hearing and then my participation when I was still at Otisville with the district attorney is his tax returns. We're taken from Rudy's electronic devices that, of course, also deal with Donald Trump. And If it deals with Donald Trump and there's any money involved, Allen Weisselberg is attached to it. It's just that simple. Allen is not the target. He's going to be collateral damage, but he's not the target. From Allen to Don Jr. to Eric to Ivanka to Donald himself. So this indictment is going to be much larger. It's going to be obviously much broader in its scope, and it's not going to end well. I made a lot of predictions, many on this show, many on others. I've been right pretty much most of the time. It's not going to end well for any of them.